since we did a live, and as usual, I'm going to spend the first couple seconds sharing this to our Instagram so that people can join. My hair is a little crazy. This might be a short live. I'm gonna go as long as my son stays asleep. So there's no real telling how long that will be. He's been asleep for a while. That's the problem, is I didn't start this soon enough. Sorry, sharing the video over to Instagram. Hi, it's so good to see you guys again. I'm so sorry that we haven't been doing lives. I'll tell you why. It's all my fault because I'm the one who, well, I'm gonna blame it on my kid. I'm the one who like spearheads the lives, and as you know, it's usually me who is doing them. And my son is now a toddler, and so it's not very easy for me to like get things done on a schedule while he's awake. And he also doesn't nap on a consistent schedule. So my life is crazy right now. The kids will be out of school soon, Mia and Anson and them. So hopefully we'll be able to do lives more regularly again. But thank you. Thank you for not hating us because we didn't do them for a little while, or maybe you did hate us, but thank you for coming back anyway. I'm gonna eat lunch. I don't know what I'm eating yet. You guys can help me decide, or I don't have many options. So as usual, I will be eating on this live. Okay, almost done sharing this. Should I have ice cream for lunch? Swipe up. Dunzo. Okay, do you guys have any questions? I didn't do my little, sometimes I do my questionnaire thing on Google Forms, so you guys can ask me those. But I didn't this time. All right, my fridge is completely full of food, but none of it is ready for me to eat right now, which is pretty rude. Maybe I'll make a black bean burrito. That's what we're gonna do for lunch. And if my kid sleeps long enough, then I'll try taking you guys upstairs and showing you what we're doing with the Wicked costumes. Lucy, our birthdays were awesome. It was really, really great because in Utah, a lot of people are vaccinated now. I'm gonna put this on this side, I think it'll be better. A lot of people are vaccinated now, so, and you can hang out with people when you're vaccinated. So it was awesome. We got to have people over for my birthday. We got to have people over for Steven's birthday. It was lovely. It's been a long year of not socializing, so that was super, super great. How are you guys doing? Oh dear, I'm sorry. I don't know how to make the chat come up. There we go. Marilyn asked how I've been. I've been good, but we've been so tired. Steven has been teething. I feel like constantly for the last month. He'll like grow a tooth and sleep horribly and then get in a bad sleep zone. And then he'll get over it. And then like a couple days later, he'll be sprouting another tooth. And we just went to the pediatrician yesterday and she said he has 6 more teeth that are getting ready to come in. So our sleep is going to be probably terrible still for the next little while, but it's okay. Luckily, this is what my house also looks like. You can see just from a glimpse that it's sort of a disaster. And this is actually much more tidy than it was like yesterday. Yeah. So luckily he's really cute and happy and fun during the day because at nighttime we're about to lose our minds. Guys, where are all of my Tupperware containers? Trying to heat up some beans. Aha. I found some. What do you guys usually eat for lunch? I hate thinking of food ideas. It's like my least favorite part of my day is deciding what to eat. But one of my go-tos is always burritos. They're just easy, you know? Heat up some canned beans. I always cook up an uncooked tortilla. And I'll put some cheese on it to melt it. These tortillas, if you don't know about these tortillas yet, guys, they're amazing. So they're uncooked right now. So then when you cook them up, they're like fresh, delicious. Sorry, you're just seeing my back. Hi, I'm still here. Oops. I also feel like my microwave is pretty obnoxious. I don't know. Are all microwaves that annoying? I want a microwave that's like, attention, your food is done. Rather than like, beep. That would be nice. I'll look at comments in just a sec. See, you take your little raw tortilla and you just put it on here. I don't know if I gave that long enough to heat up. It's scrumptious. Okay, let's see what people are seeing. Are we off lockdown? Yeah, so Utah hasn't really had like a lockdown since the very beginning. They've had like phased reopening things. My husband and I have been pretty much living in lockdown style just to help slow the spread. Not in lockdown, obviously. Like he goes to work, but we haven't been seeing friends and family. But now we are because I'm fully vaccinated, and a lot of my family is vaccinated as well. So that's very exciting. Have I ever worked with a makeup airbrush? I haven't, but I've seen how they've seen makeup that's been done with an airbrush, and it seems so cool and like so smooth. We've actually talked about using it for our For Good video because we have Elphaba with green skin, and I know a lot of people use airbrush when they're doing like fantasy skin makeup. So maybe we will use an airbrush soon. Okay, then you flip the tortilla and it starts to bubble up. It's very satisfying. You can stab it to help it not bubble up too much. Cook some more. And then I like to, when it's on the second side, take some cheese. Just sprinkle it over so it gets nice and melty. And then, like, is there anything more delicious than just a handful of shredded cheese? It's not. It's so good. Okay, Dance Office asked about an In the Heights cover. We have discussed it. And we're definitely open to doing it. We were just trying to brainstorm how we would do that and do a good job of it because Utah doesn't have a lot of diversity, which I'm sure we would be able to find talent to play the roles, but they obviously can't be Caucasian. So a lot of the songs have kind of a big ensemble feel, which gets a little tricky, especially if we don't have a big budget. And then we'd have to find a good location that feels like the barrio. But we've definitely talked about it. So let us know what songs you want to hear from In the Heights because we might be doing some. Cheese is my favorite food. You and Mia would be friends. Cheese is definitely Mia's favorite food as well. Okay, scrolling up. And Steven has plenty of teething rings, so I think he's good on those, but thank you. Chaya, I might be saying your name wrong, but I'm sorry you're having a bad day. I'm glad you're here. Anja, thank you for praying for Steven. We will sure need it. Okay, I think I'm caught up. Guys, I think I'm starting a TikTok page, which is it sounds so silly for me to say myself because I hate TikTok and I think it's frankly kind of a waste of time. I know a lot of you are probably on it and a lot of my siblings are on it too and send me videos all the time. So, I'm not judging you if you like TikTok. I just don't really like it. But I think it could be fun. I want to start a page where I talk about books and stuff, especially because we want to a lot of the films we want to make in the future for Working with Lemons will be based on books. And so I think it would be a really fun way to kind of find that book community and people who would like to see the stuff we're making and just like chat with people about it. The final ingredient, Cholula. So I don't have any videos posted yet, and I don't know when I will post them, but my TikTok username is Bookish Fox. So if you want to follow me, you can. I can't promise that it'll be good or that I'll ever post, but I did make a username, so that's the first step. I have read Esperanza Rising. I don't remember it. I need to read it again. I read it a long time ago, probably like 15 years ago. And now you get the back view of my kitchen. Should close that cupboard. Oh well. I wish I could leave these comments going up. Ooh, Sparkle and Friends is giving me food info. Sparkly vegetables. Dice onions, cut the bacon, put olive or avocado oil on the pan, and then put the onions in the bacon in it. This is sounding good. Let it simmer, then cut Brussels sprouts, and then put it in the pan. That sounds good. Yeah, I should read Esperanza Rising again. Are you guys also going to be in the movies you're planning to make? Absolutely, if we can. And by if we can, I mean like if we feel like we would be a good fit for the roles, because ultimately we want to make our movies as good as we can. Sorry, I'm eating now, so welcome to my lunchtime. You're welcome to join me. Make yourself some food. So of course we want to be in the movies, but we care more about making the movies good and like making sure that people actually fit the roles that they're playing. So if it came to it, we would be willing to direct a movie that none of us were in if we could find actors that would be better for it than we would. Okay. I have not read or watched the Shadow and Bone series, but I'm very interested in it. It looks cool. Have you watched it? Is it good? Should I watch it? Should I read it? I'm sorry. Is my chewing so loud? I should stop doing lives while I'm eating, but I just have to seize the moment, you know? Luckily, I can eat while my kid's awake usually. You guys see my finger scrolling over here? Okay, my favorite book. I have so many. So I'll tell you a couple, and you'd let me know if there are genres that you want me to tell you. I've been reading a lot of fantasy this year. At first, I was reading some like more serious books, and then 2020 happened, and my brain was like, "You need to go live in a fantasy world on your off time." So, one that I read recently is Uprooted. That one was really fun. I wouldn't say it's like my favorite book, but it was very enjoyable. The Goose Girl series. It's not actually called the Goose Girl series. It's called the Books of Bayern, but the first book is Goose Girl. The second book is Anna Burning. And then there is River Secrets and Forestborn, and they are so good and so fun. And we would love to make them into, ideally, like a series would be so fun. And that's one that maybe none of us would be in because we're all, like Ari and I are a bit old to play the characters now. Mia might be the right age by the time we got around to making it, but she would maybe be too old too. Ella Enchanted is a lifelong favorite of mine. If you haven't read the book, read the book and don't speak to me about the movie. I hate the movie. It's terrible. So I want to make an actual good version of Ella Enchanted. Okay. Ari is doing well. She is still doing hair and stuff, and she's been doing that throughout the pandemic. They just have everybody wear masks and stuff. And she's fully vaccinated now too, so that's great. And there was another question that I saw. A minute. Where did it go? Oh, someone asked where we do auditions for our videos. So usually we cast our videos just off of like people that we know because we do a lot of theater and film in Utah. So typically we use our friends and our family. Obviously we use our family first when we can. And then every once in a while we'll hold open auditions. Like we found our Moana through an open audition, and when we did our Star Wars fan film, we did open auditions for that. So if you want to hear about open auditions, you can join our Patreon page. You can make sure you're following us on Instagram and following us on Facebook, and those are the places that we'll post about it when we do them. It's not super common, but whenever we do them, that's where we post about it. I do like The Greatest Showman. It's very fun. We got to do I should not have taken them. We got to do a little mini concert version of The Greatest Showman for this dude out in Texas. It was really, really fun. We brought some of the Bonners with us and we like performed a sort of abridged version. It was really fun. What's our Instagram? Our Instagram is just Working with Lemons. And there are a couple that have similar usernames. So I think you'll know that it's us. Like it has our mailing address listed. And we post a handful of times a week. Thank you, Natasha. Is that how you say your name? Natasha? I'm glad you agree that Ella Enchanted is so good and that the movie is so bad. And the thing is, a lot of people have seen the movie and they're like, oh, it's a cute movie. Like, I love it. It's not that the movie itself is bad, it's that it is nothing like the book. Like, it's insane how much it is not like the book. Pretty much the only thing that is the same as the book is that Ella is cursed with obedience. Beyond that, the plot is like so different. Some of the character names are the same, but there are characters in the movie that like don't even exist in the book. So it's really just such a terrible making of a book into a movie, which doesn't mean the movie itself is terrible. I just wish that they, like, if they wanted to make that movie, they should have just made a different movie under a different name and done Ella Enchanted the right way. So we came up with the name Working with Lemons from a couple of things. So our family went through a divorce in 2008, and we were, it was kind of a tough time. We didn't have a lot of money, and so in a sense, life was giving us a lot of lemons. But out of those, we kind of turned to our creative side and started making videos. And so it was sort of a play on the phrase like, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. But we say, when life gives you lemons, make movies. And the other thing is that our first video we made it only cost us $5 for all the supplies that we used. And we just like were scrambling and finding things around the house. So we were sort of working with just the lemons that we had to make movies. Okay, Lucy, go read Ella Enchanted and tell us what you thought. It's so good. And it's like a children's book. So you can read it. I mean, depending how fast you read, like I can read the whole book in one day if I want to. You can just sit down and read it in a chunk of time. So it doesn't take too long because it's for kids. Like I started reading it when I was 8, I think, but it's so good. I still love it today. I don't know what TVD is. Oh, The Vampire Diaries? Is that what that is? If it's The Vampire Diaries, I've watched a couple episodes. I really tried. I tried to like The Vampire Diaries because one of my best friends in high school was obsessed with it. And I know like Mia and Ari have watched it and like it, and Jordan, and I think Taylor. I just like couldn't get into it though. I have a hard time getting into those like high drama shows. Um, which like honestly bums me out because a lot of people love The Vampire Diaries and find a lot of joy from watching it, but I just could not get hooked on it. I just remember people always asking like, "Oh, do you like the blonde dude or the dark-haired dude?" I don't even remember their names. Um, okay, here's another question for you guys. When you read a book and the book has um, okay, and the book has been made into a movie, do you like when they use that cover for the book cover, or do you prefer that they stick with original artwork? If that makes sense. So like Ella Enchanted, there's the original book cover art. And then there's like a new version, there are new versions out there now that have the movie cover on the book as the book cover. And that always bothers me. I always just want the original artwork. Um, okay, let me check. Have you ever watched Dance Moms? I have not watched Dance Moms, but I've seen some hilarious clips from it. Oh dear, what did I do? Oh. I don't know who Laurie Berkner is. Does she write songs? Does she sing songs? Um, Rahel. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your names. Rahel. Um, I do love Harry Potter. I love Harry Potter. I have a whole bookshelf with all my books and my Time Turner that I got from the studio tour in London. And I went to Universal Studios Harry Potter World for my honeymoon. So yes, I do like Harry Potter very, very much. It's so good. It's so good. If the movie was good, you don't mind, but generally prefer the original artwork. That's fair. Yeah, I just like to see, I don't know, like for a book, I prefer to come up with my own image of the characters. So even if there's been a movie rendition that I've seen, I still kind of like to hold on to what my version of the character was in my mind. And I think having an illustrated cover helps with that more than just like having a picture of somebody. Um, yeah, so that's my approach. Even when they sometimes will take pictures of people for book covers, I don't like that as much. Um, yeah, I prefer illustrations, I guess. It feels more imaginative to me than just having photographs on the cover. I only speak English, but I am learning Portuguese. And I took 2 years of Chinese in high school and 2 years of Spanish in college. 2 years, maybe just 2 semesters of Spanish. Yeah, just 2 semesters of Spanish. Um, so I don't really speak any other language. I can say some things in Chinese, some things in Spanish. Although Spanish, I always get mixed up with Portuguese now because I've been studying Portuguese on Duolingo for like 2 years now. Um, and my husband can speak Portuguese, so that's why I wanted to learn Portuguese so that we can maybe help Steven learn Portuguese and he'll just already be bilingual. But in order for that to happen, I need to try to hurry and get fluent, which would be cool. I would love to learn a second language. I think that's awesome when people are multilingual. I feel like to really learn a language, you have to talk it. Yeah, you have to talk it. You have to speak it with people. because I can like think my way through things. I can understand a lot of Portuguese, like listening to it, but I don't really get practice speaking it, even though my husband knows it. So we should just try to speak it at home, but it's so hard. We'll do that sometimes. I'll be like, "Hey, Jeremy, only speak to me in Portuguese," and it lasts for like 5 minutes before before we actually just want to be able to communicate with each other. Okay, let me tell you about the Goose Girl series. It's so good. um, so the premise of the Goose Girl series is um, the idea that you can. Okay, let me think of how to describe this. I haven't really like described this book to people. It's first of all, it's kind of a fairy tale feel, um, and the concept behind it, I kind of like to describe it as if Ever After the movie met Avatar: The Last Airbender. If you haven't seen that, you should watch it. Um, it's the premise that people have access to specific gifts where they can speak in types of languages, but the languages are not like Portuguese and Spanish. It's like um, you can have animal speak or wind speak or what are the other ones like nature speak, fire speak, water speak. So that means that you can communicate with those elements. So the premise of Goose Girl, without giving spoilers, it starts off and um, the main girl can speak to geese or learns that she can communicate with birds really easily. Um, and it takes off from there. It's very cool. Like that maybe sounds a little fluffy and fairy tale-y, but I love the series because it is fairy tale and it feels very magical, but it also has like some good action and depth, and it's not just like doo 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 lovely fairy tale. It's like gets kind of deep and it's really awesome. And A Burning is my favorite one. That's the second book. I'm guessing you love Chuck. What? Why would you say that? Yes, I do love Chuck. I actually haven't watched it in a long time. Ari, whenever she has a show that she likes, she watches it like so many times, and it kind of baffles me because there are so many good shows out there. So for me, I love Chuck. I've watched it multiple times, but I'd kind of rather watch a new show, a new series that I haven't seen because there are so many good ones that I want to see them. Um, I have watched some of Once Upon a Time. Once Upon a Time was the same way for me as Vampire Diaries was, where like everyone I know loves it and really enjoyed it. And I tried to watch it and I just like couldn't get into it. I liked it. Like it was fun. And maybe I just need to give it longer to get invested in the characters because I think the premise behind it is really fun, but I never quite got hooked on it. Last bite of my burrito. You guys don't have to listen to me chew anymore, although it's about time for me to end this live. What time is it? Did you guys just hear my back pop? Okay, Alex asked if we've been watching High School Musical, the series. I haven't. A lot of my acting students have, and they're actually filming that in Utah. So my siblings and I have auditioned for multiple roles in the series, because they're always auditioning for some of the smaller roles out here, or even some of the bigger ones. So that's kind of fun. They also filmed the original High School Musical out here, so it's fun that they're doing the series. Okay, my favorite movie. Oh, that's so hard. One of my favorites is While You Were Sleeping. It's so good. It's just like such a feel good chick flick. We always watch it at Christmas time. Um, oh yeah, before Steven wakes up, I will go upstairs. I'm gonna stop talking to you while I go upstairs so I don't wake him up on the way, and I'll show you where we're at with the Wicked costumes. I think it's gonna be really fun. We're going location scouting next week to figure out where we want to film the video, and hopefully we'll be posting it next month, but no promises. Okay, I have to be so quiet. made it to the costume room. Oh, gosh. Hold on, let me go get my dog, or she's gonna come whine at the door. All right, I'm still gonna talk a little bit quiet because I'm kind of close to the napping room. When I say the costume room, let me show you what I'm working with here. This is our crazy cluttered costume room. So this is the Elphaba wig, just hanging out there. We tried to order as many of these pieces on not Instagram, on Amazon, as we could because they're kind of elaborate costumes, and we figured that we could piece them together from other things. So for Elphaba's, it's her last dress of the show, and it's sort of a Victorian style thing. What we're doing is we're using this skirt. It's a full length, and then pairing it with, where's the shirt? With this, which we found, which is like perfect. When I tried it on, I was like, oh, this is amazing. So it's like a high neck. I don't know if you can really, I don't know if you'll really get the idea of it. That's okay. Well, you'll get the idea when there are pictures. It's just kind of an old Victorian feel. It's actually like a really great silhouette that matches Elphaba's costume really well. And our plan is to embellish that. So if you look at her last costume, it's got like all this texturing in it, which we have some good textures already from the lace in these pieces, but we want to add some more kind of ragged textures. And then for the Glinda dress, we just ordered. We didn't want to have to make a whole formal dress and do a bunch of hand beading ourselves, so we ordered one online, and it actually like was pretty close to working just as it is, but the torso was a little bit long, and I felt like Glinda's so like fluffy and bubbly, so we wanted to shorten the torso. So we're in the middle of this process. Here's the top, nice and sparkly, and we will add, it just has these, like, this goes on around the shoulder, but we're gonna take this and alter it to be sort of the Glinda poofy sleeve here, and we're probably gonna try to add her collar in the back. We'll see how that goes. But this torso, I'll try to point this down, was a little longer than we wanted, so we're trying to move the waistband up here. So I unpicked the skirt from the bottom, and we have this here. Oh gosh, it's stuck on the shirt. Oh dear. There we go. So I've got this big fluffy skirt, which I need to cinch up the waistband a bit, and then I'm gonna try to reattach that to the top, and we'll see how that goes. And I'll wear a big hoop skirt underneath it. And then for the Glinda wig, where is that? Somewhere buried in this mess. Okay. We found this awesome curly wig, which Ari is going to style. Look at those curls, nice and Glinda-y. It's a little long, so Ari's going to see if she can cheat the style so it's shorter, because at the end Glinda's hair is like my length. And we can cut the wig if we need to, but if we don't have to cut it, then we'd rather not, so we can use it for other things. And then my sister-in-law is making us Glinda's wand, which she's so crafty, so I'm sure that's going to be awesome. And This is the crown we got. It's like my favorite thing we've gotten so far. I was amazed to find this online. I think it's such a perfect Glinda crown. So that's exciting. And I think that's all. Oh, we're still deciding what we're doing for Elphaba's hat and broomstick. All the witch hats I've found online are like either they're cheap and they look really cheap, which I don't want. I want a cool looking hat, or they're like really expensive. Um, and we'd rather not spend a ton of money for just one video. We will if we need to get a good looking hat. My friend had one that I think we might be able to make work, that he actually like shaped as Elphaba's because hers is kind of a slanty hat. So I need to reach out to him and see if we can borrow it. And broomstick. Also, yeah, we need to find a witch's broomstick. And a spell book. I hadn't thought about that one. Yeah, so there you go. There's the Wicked costumes. Let me check these real quick. Gives you Elsa vibes, yeah. Which is funny because Idina Menzel, who played Elphaba, also played Elsa, but the Glinda dress gives the Elsa vibes. Okay, Anna McNulty. I feel like I have heard of her or maybe seen some of her stuff, but I honestly am not on social media very much, which is kind of funny because it's my job to run. It's my job to run the social media. So if you're like, why hasn't anyone replied to my comment or seen my message? It's because I only get on there like once a week. It's for my own sanity. It's for my mental health. I can't get distracted on Instagram that much. Yes, we watched Umbrella Academy. Yes, we love it. Okay. My TikTok name with no videos on the account is Bookish Fox because my last name is Fox and I'm bookish. So if you want to follow me, you can, and then you'll get to see my first video whenever I decide to post it. Have I seen WandaVision? Yes, loved it. Oh, I just saw all these questions that came in. Okay, I'll answer. Oh dear. My baby's doing well, except he's teething, and he just got shots yesterday, so he's a little cranky today, but he's good. Favorite song from Hamilton? I really like Dear Theodosia. That's not necessarily my favorite. Today it's my favorite, I guess. And favorite Disney movie? It's too hard to pick. But my go-to that I always say is Emperor's New Groove. It's just a quality film. All right. I think we're going to wrap it up so I can go and try to fulfill some of the Patreon rewards. That's not really what they're called. The Patreon incentives for our patrons. I'll see if I can get any of that done before my son wakes up. Thank you for coming today. I will hopefully be back next week, or so one of them, whoa, that wasn't a word. One of us from the Lemon team will hopefully be back next week. We usually do our lives at 3:30, which I know does not work as well for some of our international friends. But if you can't watch it live, you can always watch it afterwards and leave comments. And yeah, thanks for coming, guys. Thanks for watching me eat a burrito. I'll see you next week, maybe.